Most people move through their day without ever noticing the rhythm of their own brain. Yet, beneath every thought, every decision, and every spark of clarity, there is an electrical language shaping the entire experience of being alive. Today, we enter one of its rarest and most fascinating patterns, a frequency linked with insight, elevated awareness, and moments when understanding arrives instantly. This is the world of gamma waves, the highest measurable oscillation in the human brain and one of the most intriguing signals of consciousness. Gamma waves operate at speeds far beyond the rhythms that guide everyday mental activity, forming a frequency so rapid and synchronized that it almost feels like the brain is shifting into a higher gear. To understand this, imagine the mind as an orchestra, each brainwave playing a different instrument, contributing a unique rhythm. Gamma is the moment when all of them align in perfect unity, creating a level of coherence that rarely appears in ordinary states. You may have felt this state before, in moments when the inner noise suddenly quiets and understanding emerges without effort, when clarity feels immediate, like a puzzle solving itself. These experiences often bring sharper perception, deeper presence, and a sense that multiple layers of reality are being processed at once. Gamma waves are the hidden architecture behind these moments, the pattern that allows the mind to integrate complex information with unusual precision. Unlike the more common rhythms that flow naturally through daily life, gamma does not appear easily. It requires a state of deep focus and deep calm at the same time, a paradox the brain rarely achieves without specific conditions. This difficulty is what makes gamma so compelling to neuroscientists and researchers trying to understand the mechanics of human awareness. Gamma waves are not mystical energy or supernatural force. They are a measurable phenomenon created when networks of neurons fire in rapid harmony across distant regions of the brain. This synchronization blends memory, perception, emotion, and awareness into a unified experience of being fully present. It is the signature behind insight, heightened attention, and the calm alertness that arises during moments of profound understanding. Throughout this episode, we will explore how gamma waves emerge, why they matter, and what they reveal about the architecture of consciousness. We will examine the science behind them, the internal states that support them, and the mental clarity they can unlock. The goal is not to romanticize gamma, but to understand it in a way that feels both scientific and deeply personal. By the end of this journey, you will see why gamma waves are often linked to exceptional insight, advanced perception, and the rare feeling of being fully awake within your own mind. You will understand how this fast, elegant frequency connects neuroscience with inner stillness, and why exploring your own internal rhythm may reveal more about consciousness than you ever expected. This is the threshold where science meets awareness, and where the story truly begins. Gamma waves are the fastest measurable brain waves, oscillating between roughly 30 and 100 cycles per second, a speed that reflects how rapidly different parts of the brain communicate. These oscillations are not random electrical noise. They are coordinated pulses that help the brain integrate complex information with remarkable efficiency. Understanding gamma begins with seeing the brain not as a single organ, but as millions of interconnected regions working in precise timing. This synchrony is what makes gamma so fascinating. When neurons fire in unison at gamma frequency, it allows separate brain regions to share information almost instantly, forming a unified internal picture of what you see, hear, feel, and remember. Scientists often describe gamma as the glue that binds your mind together, giving structure to your conscious experience. At the core of gamma activity is a process called neural integration, where sensory data, emotional signals, memories, and attention converge into a single coherent moment. Without this integration, your perception would feel fragmented and disconnected. Gamma waves act like a conductor, ensuring every element aligns at the same time, creating a seamless experience of reality. Research shows that gamma activity increases during learning, rapid problem-solving, and tasks requiring heightened cognitive flexibility. It is often present during the peak moments when the brain is absorbing new information or reorganizing old patterns into clearer understanding. This makes gamma a central player not just in intelligence, but in adaptability and mental clarity. Gamma is also deeply connected to working memory, the system that allows you to hold and manipulate information in your mind for short periods. When working memory is strong, you can reason more effectively, make connections faster, and maintain focus without losing track of your thoughts. Gamma appears when the brain is operating with this elevated level of precision. Researchers have found that gamma waves may support neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reshape and strengthen its internal wiring. During moments of insight or deep learning, rapid bursts of gamma often appear, suggesting that the brain is reorganizing itself into a more efficient pattern. This is part of what makes gamma so vital to long-term cognitive growth. Viewed together, gamma waves represent the brain's most integrated and highest-performing state. They signal a moment when perception, memory, and awareness merge into something sharper and more unified. Understanding this sets the stage for exploring how gamma relates to consciousness itself, and why these rare oscillations are linked to the deepest layers of human understanding. Gamma waves often appear during moments when awareness feels unusually vivid, when your perception sharpens and the world seems more unified than usual. These states are not mystical. They are measurable changes in neural activity that reflect a heightened integration of thought, sensation, and emotion. When gamma rises, your mind is not speeding up randomly. It is synchronizing in a more coherent and intentional way. One of the biggest clues about gamma's role in consciousness comes from what scientists call the binding problem, the question of how the brain takes separate sensations and turns them into one seamless experience. Vision, sound, memory, emotion, attention, all of them originate from different areas of the brain. Gamma waves appear to unify these signals into the single field of awareness you experience right now. This is why gamma activity often increases during moments of deep presence or heightened clarity. When the mind becomes fully attentive, without being pulled apart by distraction, gamma creates a kind of internal coherence that makes the moment feel sharper and more meaningful. These states are often described as calm yet intensely awake. Studies also show that people who practice long-term mindfulness or contemplative training often generate unusually strong gamma activity during deep states of awareness. This does not mean the experience is mystical. It means the brain is reaching a level of synchrony that everyday thinking rarely allows. Awareness becomes more unified, less fragmented, more stable. Gamma waves also play a role in sudden insight, those moments when understanding arrives fully formed, without effort. These bursts of clarity often align with rapid gamma spikes, as the brain integrates multiple pieces of information into a single realization. The experience feels instant because gamma allows the brain to connect ideas at lightning speed. What makes gamma so unique is how it ties together both conscious and subconscious processing. Gamma appears when deep internal activity meets focused attention, forming a bridge between the parts of the mind you control and the parts you are only dimly aware of. This creates a sense of mental depth, as if awareness expands to reveal more of itself. Taken together, these discoveries suggest that gamma waves may represent the most integrated state of human consciousness. They appear when perception, memory, emotion, and awareness converge into a single unified experience. Understanding this brings us closer to knowing why gamma is so rare and why accessing it can shift the way we think, feel, and interpret the world around us. Gamma waves require an extraordinary level of neural energy, coordination, and stability, which makes them one of the most difficult brainwave states to maintain. Unlike slower rhythms that appear naturally throughout the day, gamma emerges only when large networks of neurons synchronize at extremely high speed. This demand for precision is the reason gamma is rare even in healthy, high-functioning brains. Most of the time, the brain operates in states like beta for focus, alpha for calm wakefulness, theta for creativity, or delta for deep sleep. These rhythms require far less metabolic effort and far less synchronization between distant brain regions. Gamma, on the other hand, sits at the very top of the brain's energy and coordination spectrum. Modern life often works against the conditions needed for gamma. Chronic stress, constant stimulation, fragmented attention, and rapid task switching all disrupt the neural coherence that gamma depends on. When the mind is pulled in many directions at once, the brain cannot reach the unified state that gamma requires. Gamma also relies on a paradoxical combination of qualities, deep calm and high alertness at the same time. This blend of stillness and focus is extremely rare in daily life, because most people fluctuate between stress-driven activation and relaxation that lacks clarity. Gamma appears when the brain enters a balanced, regulated state that is both peaceful and intensely present. Physical factors also play a role. Sleep deprivation, neuroinflammation, anxiety, emotional turbulence, and poor cognitive regulation all reduce the brain's ability to synchronize at high frequency. Gamma requires a stable internal environment, and when the nervous system is overwhelmed, the synchrony simply cannot form. For this reason, gamma cannot be forced. It is not a state you can push your way into, because effort alone actually disrupts the calm focus gamma depends on. Instead, gamma emerges naturally when the mind becomes clear, present, regulated, and free from internal conflict. This rarity is precisely why gamma waves are associated with moments of insight, genius-level integration, and deep states of consciousness. They represent a moment when the brain is working at its highest level of harmony, clarity, and efficiency. Understanding this prepares us to explore how gamma shows up in real life, especially during creativity, problem-solving, and expanded awareness. Gamma waves often appear during moments when the mind suddenly connects ideas that once seemed unrelated, creating a spark of clarity that feels both effortless and immediate. These are the moments when problems that felt overwhelming suddenly reveal their solution, when patterns emerge naturally, and when the mind steps into a higher level of organization. Gamma is the signature frequency behind these bursts of insight. In daily life, gamma supports the brain's ability to integrate multiple streams of information into a single, meaningful whole. This is what allows you to see the bigger picture instead of getting lost in details, to sense connections others might overlook, and to understand complex ideas without breaking them into fragments. Gamma strengthens what many researchers call global thinking. These states are often described by scientists, artists, engineers, and deep thinkers who experience sudden clarity or intuitive leaps in understanding. They are not magical moments. They are neurological events where the brain temporarily reaches a state of high synchrony and rapid information binding. When gamma rises, thinking becomes sharper, faster, and more fluid. Gamma also supports emotional stability during complex mental tasks. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, the mind becomes calm, steady, and focused, creating the perfect environment for high-level problem-solving. This balance between emotional calm and cognitive engagement is one of the most striking features of gamma states. Another everyday sign of gamma activity is heightened perception. People often report noticing subtle details, sensing relationships, or seeing patterns they would normally miss. This is because gamma allows the brain to process sensory input with greater clarity and unify it with memory and attention in real time. In elite performance fields like medicine, music, physics, strategy, and creative engineering, gamma appears during moments when experts operate at their highest level of integration. These are the states where precision meets intuition, where skill merges with awareness, and where the brain performs with a rare combination of speed and stability. Gamma supports this efficiency and depth of processing. But the most important idea is that gamma is not reserved for extraordinary individuals. It is accessible to anyone who creates the right internal conditions, conditions where attention is focused, emotions are regulated, and awareness becomes steady and present. This understanding prepares us to explore the deeper relationship between gamma and inner stillness, the paradox that makes this frequency so unique. Gamma waves do not appear only during intense thinking or complex problem-solving. Some of the strongest gamma activity ever recorded happen during deep meditative states, moments when the mind becomes incredibly still yet profoundly awake. This creates a powerful paradox, the idea that the highest frequency of the brain can emerge from the quietest inner experience. When the nervous system becomes calm and regulated, the brain gains the stability needed for rapid neural synchrony. This calmness is not passive relaxation, but a state of clear presence where attention stops scattering across multiple thoughts. In this stillness, gamma can form more easily because the brain is no longer competing with internal noise. As gamma rises, perception often becomes sharper and more unified. People describe colors appearing more vivid, sounds feeling cleaner, and physical sensations becoming more precise. This heightened sensory clarity reflects how gamma integrates the senses into one coherent field of awareness. Gamma also acts as a bridge between conscious intention and the deeper layers of the subconscious. It appears in moments when the mind seems to operate beyond deliberate thought, as if deeper processing rises into consciousness. This creates a feeling of expanded awareness, a sense that the mind is working as one unified system rather than separate parts. Breath, attention, and emotional regulation play a strong role in supporting gamma states. Slow breathing and grounded awareness stabilize the prefrontal cortex, allowing the brain to synchronize at high frequency. This is why practices centered on stillness can produce such powerful effects on clarity and insight. In these moments, gamma may reflect the brain's healthiest and most coherent state. Thoughts become organized, awareness becomes steady, and emotional turbulence fades into the background. The mind feels both peaceful and deeply alive, a rare balance that opens space for genuine understanding. Inner stillness, then, is not the absence of thought but the alignment of thought. It is the environment where the brain can integrate, synchronize, and operate at its highest potential. Understanding this prepares us to explore the closing insight, where gamma emerges as the signature frequency of an integrated and fully aware mind. Gamma waves reveal something profound about the human mind, something far more meaningful than a scientific measurement. They show us that consciousness becomes its sharpest when the brain works as a unified system, when perception, memory, and emotion align into one coherent experience. In gamma states, the mind is not scattered or divided, it becomes whole. Understanding gamma means understanding a deeper truth about awareness itself. These rare oscillations remind us that clarity is not accidental. It is the product of harmony between the different layers of the mind. When the brain reaches this harmony, awareness feels more grounded, more precise, and more connected to the present moment. Gamma does not suggest that consciousness is mystical or beyond science. Instead, it shows how elegant the biological foundations of awareness truly are. The brain is capable of reaching extraordinary levels of coordination, and what we experience as insight or deep presence is simply its highest form of synchrony. Most people think they need to force themselves to think harder or push themselves to perform better. But Gamma teaches the opposite lesson, that extraordinary mental states arise when the mind becomes calm, stable, and unified. This balance creates the ideal conditions for clarity, creativity, and expanded perception. This is why understanding Gamma is valuable for everyday life. It helps you recognize the patterns that support a healthier, more intentional mind. Patterns like emotional regulation, focused attention, and inner stillness. When these elements align, decision-making becomes clearer, stress loses its grip, and your ability to see the bigger picture expands naturally. Exploring your own internal rhythm becomes a way of understanding yourself on a deeper level. The mind is not chaos. It is a system waiting to be harmonized, and the frequencies of your brain shape how you experience reality. By learning to calm the noise and strengthen awareness, you create the conditions where Gamma can emerge more easily. As this journey closes, remember that Gamma waves are not a rare gift reserved for a few people. They are a reminder of the incredible potential that exists within every human mind when clarity, presence, and inner balance come together. This is the power of an integrated consciousness, and it is only the beginning of what your mind is capable of.